Obviously, a really well-played game by two teams. We have the utmost respect for Fairfield just in terms of the way they compete and how well coached they are, and a really difficult opponent for us, and just a closely played game. A ton of lead changes, a lot of back and forth, and I think we were just fortunate to make one or two more plays. But again, a lot of respect for them, and we're fortunate to be able to come out on top. I think we've grown a little bit and able to make some of those toughness plays down the stretch.
Baker, I kind of asked you this on Thursday, but it seems like you're just in close game after close game. Where last year you were losing, and this year you're winning. As a coach, what is it like to see those games kind of flip and you being on the winning end of them?
You're going to ask me if I have the clutch gene? Clutch coaching, right? No. I do think there's a reason you see a lot of experienced college basketball teams grow, and it shows in the win column more for older teams, and there's obviously exceptions to the rule. But like anything, the more experience you have, the more comfortable you're going to be, the more you're going to be able to withstand a little bit of pressure in uncomfortable situations. And, you look out on that court tonight, in our starting lineup, we have 4 guys who played in the MAC tournament together last year, that started in that game against Fairfield. So that's an advantage for us. We need to use it, and the way you get better with that is just how hard you come to work every day and learn from each experience.
Was this game personal, not knowing that Fairfield knocked you out of the MAC tournament last season? Was that at all in the question?
Wouldn't it be so fun if I answer that differently than I'm going to? No, we have so much respect for them. I watched that tape of our game against them at the end of last year, and I'm like, you know what? We played pretty well. We played pretty well. We make some mistakes here and there, but they just made more plays. They had a special senior and some guys that really stepped up in that situation. So it's not personal. It's an opportunity more than anything. It's an opportunity to test yourself against a really good team.
You talked about how they don't have Tyler Nelson anymore. How do you see their game change? Because last year they ran primarily through him. So how do you think their offensive approach has changed?
Yeah, when you have a special player like that, you got to really feature him, and they did a great job of that. Probably a little bit more equal opportunity this year, which at times can make it more difficult. Obviously you don't enjoy guarding a Tyler Nelson, but when everybody's a little bit more aggressive, it spreads out the scoring a little bit, and they certainly still have great shooting.
You mentioned those 4 players that were on the team last year. Tonight, Travis, Tyree, and Tyrese all combined for 20 points. Do you think that extra bit puts you guys over the top?
I think we needed every single contribution we got. And obviously last game we didn't have any bench scoring. We did today. That was great. But everybody doing their part, in a game where you win by 2 points, everybody doing their little part, making free throws at the end, executing press offense, getting those, Jake Rigoni had 7 defensive rebounds. And I think for that to happen in 22 minutes is incredible. So those guys you mentioned, their contributions were vital, and along with some others.
Thursday was a very close game. Today was very close. How much does that speak to how the conference is as a whole? How it's kind of all tied up?
I don't know. I think it's too early in the MAC season to really tell. I think you look across the board, you do see some close games. We have a habit of being in some close games. We all know that. So I think as the season goes on, you will see some teams separate themselves, and I think only time will tell.
How do you think Travis Addison played? All of a sudden I looked down, he had 10 points. It was a quiet 10 points. How do you think he was today?
I think he was really good. I think on the offensive end, he gave us a key spark. He chases down offensive rebounds. He does a lot of things that don't show up in the box score as well. So I thought he gave us a really nice contribution. I think, down the stretch we had a lineup in there with Aaron Robinson at the 4. We were really quick. I think defensively we were able to move around really well. So different lineups kind of were able to give us some different contributions.
You guys have a couple of days off now to kind of regroup. What do you think you'll work on over the next week?
You know what? I don't think we're deep enough in the season to say like 1 or 2 things. I think there's a huge area that we'll get from this film to work on. So we're not specialized yet. I don't think we've made it in any area. I think if you have a really experienced team, maybe you could get there this early. But fundamentals, fundamentals of the game and decision making on both ends, and that's what it all comes down to.
Any other questions for Coach? Is it alarming at all with that your team had 18 turnovers today?
It's always alarming when we have that many turnovers, and we've had them. And I think you ask about certain things we need to work on. That's probably number 1. It's ball security. But again, I think when you're young, and I don't want to use that as an excuse, but the more you play, the game slows down. The game's got to slow down for our guys, and I don't want to make them any less aggressive. I want to keep our aggressiveness, but I want them to see things a little more clearly, and there's a lot that goes into those turnover numbers, but we got to get better.